appreciate the help, Kendall, and thank you, Charlie, for your patience, and thanks everybody for your patience. And while Charlie, you're warming up here, let me just briefly kind of get us introed here, and we'll get right to you. So thanks to Melvin and Henry for organizing today's session. We really appreciate it, guys. For those who are not aware, this is our continuing series. We call it the Adopter Series in EdgeX, where we bring in folks who, organizations who have worked with EdgeX to share their experience, talk a bit about their use case, give us the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will. Today's recording and slides will be available on our wiki. Henry usually has that updated within the hour. So look to our wiki site under the Vertical Solution Working Group to find the information. We'll send it out on Slack and email as well. If you or your organization are willing to share your experience with us, the EdgeX community, please reach out to either Henry or I. We would love to have you as part of this Adopter series. So again, apologies to Charlie and everyone for the late start here today, gang. We are glad to have Charlie and Advantech presenting. Charlie comes to us from Advantech, as mentioned previously. He's been there since 2000. I believe, Charlie, you'll have to correct me if I have your bio information incorrect, but product manager of embedded IoT at Advantech and a veteran of the industrial computing area. His current focuses are on expanding expertise in the intelligent edge and implementations in various sectors to include industrial, HMI, medical, and kiosk markets. By the way, just searching and researching Charlie's background a bit here this past weekend, I did see that there was a brand new video that Charlie has out on YouTube on edge computing. You might want to check that as well. I've provided the link in this slide. And without further ado, Charlie, again, apologies. I believe you should have rights to share. I'll stop sharing and let you take it away.
Okay, making sure myself is unmuted, and thank you very much, Jim, and do apologize to everyone for the delay. This is Charlie reporting from North America. I am the product manager with Advantech USA. So today I'm going to take some time and discuss with you the new product that we're coming up, the EI52, and how working with EdgeX help accelerate the AIoT applications. Okay. So it is estimated that in 2025, globally there will be over 79 zettabytes of data annually in this case. So when you look at the general growth of AI market and also the growth of AI market based on the industry, we can see that in the next 4 to 5 years, there's going to be a significant growth in both the AI market, particularly AI inference market, as well as the AI manufacturing market. And overall, based on the number estimated, we're expecting the business to be growing to over $100 billion. However, not all the AI are going to be done at the cloud in this case. That's where edge AI becomes more and more important due to some of the important property and also the market needs. When we look at the edge AI in general, the value of edge computing is that one, for the low latency and also the demanding or mission critical applications, looking at the edge computing, it can respond much faster in time and even real time for computer to the centralized computing. If the bandwidth is going to be a issue, or if the data volume is going to be too large, the edge computing can also save the data transmission cost. So if you have a chance to check out my other video, we did have a little discussion about this, but think about the data that you have to send up to the cloud. Both the cloud storage costs a lot of money, and also the communication, be it 5G, 4G, LTE, is also something that you will have to pay separately. So in this case, you have edge computing that allows you to collect data locally and also do the data conversion locally to minimize the footprint. And application that is highly emphasized on data security, edge computing can process those sensitive data first, where the data is generated, and only transmit the metadata to the background. By doing this, can reduce the risk that is sensitive to the data being stolen during the transmission. And actually here in US, there is also obvious concerns about privacy issues. So it's other than security, some of the state does have legislations dealing with privacy concerns that does not allow companies to collect some kind of data and transmit it to the cloud. So edge computing can help on that part as well. Now, last but not least, the edge computing can increase the stability of the overall system to avoid the situation where the entire system goes offline because a single node disconnected from the server. So in this case, if you look at the cloud computing mechanism, everything got transmitted to the cloud. The decision is made in the cloud and then transmitted down. What if that link is severed? The edge computing for some of the applications that require localized decision making can help reduce that kind of issue. So driven by the value of the edge computing, demand for the edge computing now has risen in recent years. So Advantech provide the EIS, which stands for Edge Intelligence System. That is the series of a product is designed to fulfill the new growing demand for the data connection from edge to cloud. Our core value for the EIS series is to provide data connection, integration, and visualization offering to accelerate connection from edge to cloud. Our offering does include intelligent gateway system with various different computing power. On the bottom, you can see we have the EI52, the EIDS620, so on and so forth, the different edge gateway systems that we provide. We also provide EdgeX and iEdge software for data connection and data integration and data transmission. On the top, there is the option of going with the public cloud provider, or we can also provide the Edge Cloud EIS server on the background for backend management. So the latest addition to the EIS or the Edge Intelligence Gateway series is the EI52, which is based on the 11th generation of the Intel Core i processor family. It is utilizing the low power version and provides a plug-and-play system design. It's fully integrated. We'll go into the technical detail in the next slide. This system will be able to help accelerate the edge to cloud interconnection, which it provides several different ways of connecting to the cloud, and also with the EdgeX Cloud Foundry, EdgeX Foundry to provide the integrated software architecture to allow developing of the software to control and manage the data. And the system does have wireless communication ready, which includes the 5G connection, but there are also other options available I will discuss in a later slide. Okay. So when you look at the EI52, is actually a small palm-sized unit, but it's also based on the Core i low power. So we offer a few different varieties. We offer as a standard product the Core i5 1145 G7E or the Celeron 6305E processor. The i3 is an available option for our customer to choose from. The system is completely fanless, designed to improve the general reliability of the system. And it does offer quite a few of the different standard I/O options, which including 2 GB Ethernet, to full COM port, that's RS-220, 232, 422, 485, for USB 3.0 and to USB 2.0 to connect to various different type of devices, which including like an IP camera, other sensors, so on and so forth. And the system, just to make sure it's easy for our customer to use, it will come built in with memory and also the SSD. The difference is the i5 version will come standard with 16 gigabytes of DRAM, and the Celeron version will come standard with 8 gigabytes of DRAM instead. The system is designed to support both Windows and also Ubuntu. Right now, on the Windows side is the Win 10 IoT, and Ubuntu's distribution 20.04. And of course, once the OS installed, it also has the pre-install EdgeX to help expand data acquisition API, and also our WISE device on, which is the system management software. And the system by itself supports the Intel VNNI and OpenVINO, plus the Advantage Edge AI suite, which is also based on the OpenVINO software to help accelerate the Edge AI deep learning applications. Our target for this unit is to targeting the smart city, the factory automation, retail, and also self-service kiosk. So some of the expansion options available. First one is the 5G LTE. Now we have some of the items that is necessary in order to get the 5G communication going. Starting with our AIW355 5G module. It will go into the M.2 to mini PCI Express adapter, the AMO IA026A. And then because the thermal generated by the AIW355, you will also need the AMK80039 as the heat thermal solution to help remove the heat for the AIW355. When you combine the three together, plus the necessary wiring and also the antenna, you will be able to connect to the 5G network, which provides a 10 times faster throughput, 10 times latency decrease, and also 100 times faster on the traffic capacity. I personally probably are due for a technology upgrade. I'm still using a probably mobile phone that was more than 3 years old and is now considered ancient technology. So 5G, I heard from the friend that I've been using with the latest Apple or other products, other companies' product that supports 5G is heck a lot faster than LTE, and I cannot wait to experience it. The options for wireless expansion other than the 5G, we also provide the Wi-Fi solution. In this case, is based on the Wi-Fi 5, so that is AO211, ABGN, and also AC. The module itself, the EWMW189, will also support not just Bluetooth, but also Bluetooth low energy. So some of the IoT node application can be also utilized with our EI52 as an add-on option. And we provide not just the module itself, but also the necessary antenna and the wiring accessories for populating the options and making it available. Currently, we are having the system going through the CERED and also the FCC-RF, and the system will be fully certified to have this module inside the unit by end of Q3, which is should be coming up pretty soon. Next one is the expansion for the AI. Yes, there are some of the AI capability with the EI52 by itself, but for customers who are looking for additional AI capability, we do provide the option to install additional AI capability from utilizing Intel's Mobidius Myra-X VPU as an option. Now, the Vega 330 will be utilizing the mini PCI Express interface on the system. It will provide either 1 or 2 additional VPU capability and increase the overall AI capability of the system. You can see that the module, the necessary thermal solution, and the reason why we need a thermal solution for this module is because each of the MyraX VPU has a thermal design power for about 4 watts. So you do need a thermal solution, and we do provide the thermal solution in the form of an AMK80030A to help divert the heat and transmit to the outside world. It adds the AI capability to up to 8 TOPS with about 8 watts of power. And we provide our Edge AI suite that is integrating the OpenVINO software or the OpenVINO solution from Intel that provides hundreds of pre-trained AI models, graphic user interface to allow our customer to do easy AI integration. We will have the system as part of a dev cloud from Intel for easy evaluation, so you can actually test the unit's capability first based on the dev cloud, then determine does it have the necessary power, or do you need a unit that has the more AI power to complete your system integration. And we also partner with one of our software vendor, which is PhaseView, that allows our customer to use quite a bit of a different industrial applications with a quick facial recognition capability that allows our customer to do many different type of application that can utilize recognizing the face, recognizing, say for example, wearing a mask or whatnot, their body temperature, especially post-COVID. Those are some of the application that is going to be very useful. Okay. So now we're looking into the actual AI capability of the EI52 based on the 11th generation Tiger Lake performance. So when compared to the 8th generation, the Core I processor actually supports the vector neural network instruction. And you can see that compared to the 8th generation, there's actually a significant improvement compared between the two. We do see that the performance is in general 3.6 to 3.9, so pretty much 4 times higher compared to the earlier generation. So by itself, for some of the entry-level AI application, the CPU plus the integrated VPU does have enough performance to run those type of entry-level applications. Now, Advantech EdgeX is a software package that is based on the open source Edge Cloud Foundry. EdgeX Foundry, and adding the useful tools and also integrated with Advantech software platform like a WISE-PaaS to accelerate developers to work in device connection, data processing, edge analytics, and cloud platform integration to shorten the development time and also accelerate the development to the AIoT applications. So on the bottom, you can see that there's going to be various different type of devices that can be connected to the EI52, and the EdgeX work along with some of our software applications that includes WISE-PaaS, Edge Intelligence Services, the cold chain management, and also the iService Intelligent Service Management. So we have several different software tools to allow our customer to develop market-specific softwares that meets the need for different type of applications. Now, for device connection, EdgeX provides unified API to connect with various different devices, where API allow easy transfer between platforms. So this actually, the device API has been something that Advantech has been offering for quite some time. And what we do is we provide, instead of having our customer go out and search the API for each individual connection protocol. We provide a unified device API that connected to all the different protocols that you see here. And what it does is allow our customer not only to easily access the different functions and different features in our system, but also provides a migration path moving down the road, which means if the earlier version of the hardware is phased out, when you migrate from the older version to the newer version, the device API is going to be either exactly the same or very similar in the way that help our customer to minimize the application change on their side, that they can migrate from one platform over to the other platform with ease. So this means we not only provide the hardware platform, but we also provide a easy to use system architecture that allows easy coding of the different application software to utilize our system with. So here's a list of the different supporting protocols on the left side. You can see some of the popular ones, which including MQTT, including the OPC UA and REST. So these are all the different protocols that's currently supported by the EdgeX. Now on the right-hand side, we have the devices that has been tested, either Advantech devices or third-party devices, which including several different several different categories that allows our customer to connect those devices to our system, and they can start doing the application development. So you can see that some of the common one, including battery, GPS sensors, IP cameras, printers, and various different type of USB devices, monitoring devices, and also scanners. So that means with all these, you can now start targeting various different application, different vertical markets that can utilize all these hardware solutions together. Now, the Wise Device On is a software solution provided by Advantech, particularly is to complement the our hardware solution as well as the EdgeX. Combine them together to help a easy path for our customer to do system management, system monitoring, and also providing a way to do remote access and remote update plus security. So on the device monitoring part, there's a dashboard to allow general overview of the system status, and you can also select some kind of a messaging system to send a text message to the system administrator, just in case if there's any parameter that's outside of the normal allowable setting. Then there is the remote control, which provide not only an easy to use interface, but ways to actually control the unit. For example, simple turning on of the power, adjust the brightness, adjust the volume, and actually lock down the windows if you need be. The system also comes standard with Acronis and also McAfee, in which case the Acronis provides a the system backup capability, and McAfee is the software that we provided to allow a creation of a whitelist security, in which case only the allowed software can be run on the system. So combining with the ability to update firmwares and also like a BIOS from a remote site, the Device On becomes a very useful software tool for our customer to do, once again, the device monitoring, the device management, and also remote update with security capability. Now, our target market for the EI52, which includes smart city, intelligent automation, self-service kiosk, not to mention that with the couple of slides ago, all the different devices. Now we can also targeting other markets, including security, including retail. So as long as you combine with the right hardware solution, our combination is actually endless. Now on the smart city, you can look at the large scale deployment with connectivity service and software integration. For the intelligent automation, we try to simplify deployment, to provide a management software and also the development tools. For the self-service kiosk, which actually has been a very strong application here on the North American side, where we deploy to the world, was supporting some of the key players in the market. It provides device connection, vertical focus software, and also 24/7 security. So here are some of the use case to share with you. In which case, the first one is a retail wireless robot. The retail wireless robot is designed to basically go around the store, and it has the necessary scanner on the system to scan the aisle, move along the aisle. Then it can scan whether or not the pricing is up to date. It can scan the overall status of the shelf. Are they well stocked? Do they need to be restocked? And now based on the scan data, it can now send the do a quick study, do a quick calculation, and determine which product needs to be stocked, which price needs to be updated, and then they can upload that data to the backend server. The backend server then can send those information to staff's mobile device that they handle to inform them that they need to go and change the price. They need to go to the back warehouse to grab the product and restock the shelf. So it can help reduce the cost and also increase the operating efficiency. And when you look at the combination, our built-in EdgeX for robot and backend data connectivity, the built-in device arm for real-time device monitoring and control, and also the Wi-Fi module to support the wireless transmission. All those in combination are making this type of use case possible. Okay. The next use case is the automatic water pump control, in which case the EI52 is equipped with EdgeX data to acquire API that allows to monitor and also manage the water pump. There is a liquid level sensor and also a thermal sensor in connection with our WISE 4012 IO module, where the digital input will then be transmitted wireless through the Modbus protocol to the EI52. The EI52 with the wireless module will receive the data, and then it can now connected wirelessly to different part of the network, which including the PLC to control the water pump, or to the backend server accordingly. In this case, we are looking at the building EdgeX data for the data acquisition API and to collect the sensor data, and once again designed to save the manpower cost and also enhance the operating efficiency. When you look at the overall software architecture of the system, the whole system architecture including two parts. One is on the edge, which is the EI52, and also the cloud, which is on the backend side. The EdgeX plays the central role of collecting the sensor data through the WISE 4012 as shown in the visualization in the previous slide. And the data from the IP camera is also in play as well to process the data and also connect to the cloud for further visualization and post-analysis. The EdgeX is also responsible for sending instructions to the PLC to control the water pump and achieve water pump auto control through the usage of the system and PLC and the EdgeX software. On the cloud side, the integrated software with the WisePass provides a dashboard to visualize the water pump status and also offers an add-on to the PHM for analyzing the water pump equipment health status, which can notify the user earlier when water pump needs maintenance. So when you look at the water pump health monitoring, one of the very more and more popular way of doing is you can simply add a vibration sensor to the water pump and monitoring the data, collecting the data, studying the data, compared to the other water pump and maybe the other side that might have issue before. Then there is a pattern that you can study, you can learn, and understanding that if there's certain vibrations start to happening, maybe the system needs, the water pump itself needs maintenance, and they can send technicians out to do preventive maintenance to make sure that there's no concerns or no issues about the system become down to cause issues in the operation. Okay. And here is a couple examples of how the water pump dashboard and also the PHM model to give customer a quick visualization on how the overall system is running, the health status of the system, and whether or not there is any specific points that needs to be reviewed and needs to send a technician out for repair. So it helps. It does help our customer with this type of dashboard, 3D dashboard, to quickly visualize the overall status of the system. Okay. And this is the end of the presentation. So I do hope that everybody have a wonderful time going through the presentation. And I do see there's a couple different questions. So still got some time, we can go over those questions. Okay.
Charlie, thank you so much. This has been great. Why don't you go ahead and dive right into those questions, and I'll queue up a few others as we have a few more minutes here before the end of the session today.
Okay, so the first question that I got is, looks like Wise Device On is for Windows OS only. Is it correct? As far as the Wise Device On right now, is not for Windows only. From my understanding, yes, by default we have Windows version, but we can also provide Linux version, and there are options that we have available to provide Android version with some of the feature may be limited, but it's not limited to the Windows only, although Windows probably have the most features that's available. Okay. The second question is, in addition to traditional Ubuntu OS or other full stack OS support, I was wondering if Advantech can also test LF Edge FOS on your hardware. Okay. This one is unfortunately outside of my knowledge area, but I'm more than happy to take this question and pose it to our operating system and software engineer, and then come back with the answer that we can post it working with Jim. Okay. The third question we have, for the hardware, will EdgeX fit to those Uno series as well, or I should select the EIS series? Theoretically, the hardware solution is very similar, and the Uno series should be able to adopt the EdgeX. On the other hand, the EIS is pre-configured, and the hardware is optimized to run the EdgeX. So if you have an application in which case the UNO has more IO that is needed for your application, we can certainly working on porting the EdgeX over to the UNO series. But if it's something that you want to grab and you want to get up and running immediately, then in this case, the EIS or the EI52, as we discussed today, is probably the fastest route to get your development started. Okay. Let's see. Seems like those are the questions. So once again, the OS question, we will post that to our software team, and we'll come back with an answer. Other than that, once again, thank you all very much, and do apologize for the earlier technical difficulties that delays the presentation from starting.
Charlie, thank you. And technical difficulties were ours, not yours. So we apologize to you as well. I have one question for you. So as Advantech is working with their customers and you're offering an EdgeX-based solution to them, as we all know, EdgeX offers a lot of customization. How do you deal with that? How do you, if somebody comes in and says, hey, I like this solution, Advantech, but I want, I only want this device service connector, or I want to go to this cloud. How do you customize things and how do you make that available to your customers?
Okay, so we look at it in two different folds. One is the hardware customization, and there's also the software customization. From the hardware customization standpoint, practically Advantech has been in the business for many years. We started in 1983 as an industrial automation company, and my understanding was the embedded computing side. We started in the very late 90s, so like 1998, 1999. And in which case we do a lot of customization, either by simple customizing the existing hardware that is available, or we do full custom design for our customer. So for a customer who are looking at our standard product, for example, the EI52, and for whichever reason, say cost reduction, or just simply to minimize the available connections so it doesn't get abused by the end users, for example, we can do customizations to remove the IO, to simply block off the IO, or do a customization enclosure to remove those IO opening altogether. So that is one of the options to do hardware modification outside of doing a full-blown ODM design to begin with. On the software side, we have more specialties in OS customization. So for example, to do customized operating system based on Windows 10 IoT, to do customized operating system based on Linux, Ubuntu, those are within our capability. And we also have some ways to work with our customer and also QNX is my understanding as well. If you're talking about the actual software like EdgeX customization, once again, unfortunately, I'm more on the hardware side. I do need to take that question back to our software team.
Not a problem, Charlie. Do you know if if your platforms and what you're distributing with software is done via Docker container, or is there some other distribution mechanism you're using for your software?
Unfortunately, no, I don't.
Okay, not a problem. Thanks, Charlie. Does anybody have any other questions for Charlie?
Okay, got a couple more. One is, can you describe how this has been deployed? Is Advantech using integrators? Pretty much, yes. Okay, so on the local area, typically we work with system integrators. They utilize our hardware through their expertise to go in to implement the overall solution in the field. So that's usually how our hardware is being utilized. We typically don't go in to do the implementation ourselves. As far as the last one, any thoughts on the future features of the EdgeX. I look at it and I would say it is a very interesting solution, and I do see a bright future. Now, if you're talking specific features, maybe be a little bit more specific on the features, then I can help taking those questions to our software team.
Charlie, maybe to that end, is there a group under your team, or is there a part of Advantech that is responsible for the software stacks? And would it be possible to get connected with them to receive some information on how they're kind of customizing EdgeX and/or what features they see that might be relevant?
Yes. So the software team is located in our headquarters. They are the one dealing mostly with the customization of the operating system, the software. So yes, I can work with our headquarter contact and provide those information to our audience here today who may have some additional software questions.
Yeah, fantastic, Charlie. I'll work with you to maybe set that kind of discussion up, and we can get a little bit of feedback from them as well on what they're seeing, good, bad, and indifferent.
Sounds great.
Fantastic. Any other questions for Charlie? Hearing none, I want to thank Charlie again and thank Advantech for presenting today. It's always a pleasure to see EdgeX getting used out there and getting used in a real world way. So Charlie, again, thank you, and apologies for the technical difficulties. Again, thanks also to Henry Lau and Melvin Sun, who helped set this particular session up, but also Henry is instrumental in getting all of our adopter series presentations set up. And again, we invite anybody who has the ideas that they would like to bring to the community and share about how you're using EdgeX. We'd love to hear them. Reach out to Henry or I, and we will try to get that set up. For everyone as well, I did see a couple of questions about how will the information today be made available. Henry is great at getting our wiki page updated with both the recording link as well as the slide deck. And I'm sure Charlie, Henry will reach out to you to get a copy of the slides and make those available on our wiki just as soon as possible. And I pasted the link in the chat window for those who are interested. Otherwise, again, Charlie, thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who attended, and we look forward to having you come out to our next adopter series here shortly.
Okay. Thank you.